It was a quiet Friday night when Sarah first noticed the dance studio. Nestled between two towering buildings, it looked ancient. The windows cracked and fogged, and the faded sign simply read, "The Hollow Dance." It had never been there before, or at least, she didn't think it had. Curious, she approached the door, half expecting it to be locked, but to her surprise, it creaked open with ease. Inside the room was lit by a single chandelier that flickered with an unsettling light. The wooden floor gleamed under the dim glow, and an old phonograph in the corner played a haunting melody that seemed oddly familiar, though she couldn't place where she'd heard it before. A soft, rasping voice echoed from the shadows, "Care to join us, dear?" A woman stepped out from the dark, her movements stiff and jerky, as though her joints had forgotten how to bend smoothly. Her face was pale, her eyes hollow, but her smile was the most unsettling part. It stretched impossibly wide, revealing rows of sharp, crooked teeth. Sarah froze. She tried to speak, but found her throat dry, her body refusing to move. The woman stepped closer, her shoes tapping against the floor in an eerie rhythm. "The dance, it calls to you," the woman whispered, her breath cold against Sarah's skin. "You can feel it, can't you? The beat, it pulls you." Before Sarah could react, the music grew louder, the melody wrapping around her like 1,000 invisible hands tugging at her limbs. The woman's fingers brushed her arm, and suddenly Sarah's feet lifted off the ground. The floor beneath her seemed to stretch and twist as if the room was alive. Then the shadows began to move, figures emerging from the corners of the studio. Each was grotesque, their bodies contorted in unnatural ways, their movements jerky but hypnotic. Sarah wanted to scream, to run, but her arms were no longer hers to control. She was dancing now, her body spinning and twirling in rhythm with the others, her feet moving in perfect time with the terrible wailing tune. The more she danced, the more shadows enveloped her, pulling her into their twisted choreography. She could feel her bones cracking, her muscles stretching in ways that shouldn't, but she couldn't stop. The music was in her blood, in her veins, and it wouldn't let go. And then the woman's voice cut through the air, cold and mocking. "You thought it was just a dance, didn't you? You thought you were free. Now you are one of us." Sarah's reflection in the cracked mirror on the wall twisted and distorted, her face paling, her eyes hollowing out like the others. She opened her mouth to scream, but the music was louder now, drowning everything else out. The last thing Sarah heard was the soft tap, tap, tap of shoes on the wooden floor, echoing forever in the dark.